The moment that shook the world. The stage lights blazed, the audience roared, and a rainstorm of sparkling confetti danced through the air like a million shattered diamonds. In that electric moment, his name echoing from every screen, every smartphone, every living room TV across the planet, Jamal Roberts stood utterly still, hands pressed to his heart, tears glimmering in his eyes. For a split second, time froze. Cameras flashed, judges cried, families hugged. Millions of fans who had voted, tweeted, prayed, and hoped felt their own hearts swell with pride. Then, like an unstoppable wave, the truth crashed in. Jamal Roberts, the young man with the velvet tone and iron soul, was now the official American Idol 2025 champion. And with that title came a new reality, a life forever changed, a legacy set in motion, and a story destined to embolden dreamers for generations. From humble beginnings to national spotlight. Long before the confetti, Jamal was simply a kid with an old school radio, singing along to gospel quartets in his grandmother's kitchen. Born in a modest neighborhood, he learned early that dreams rarely arrive gift wrapped. You fetch them, you fight for them, and sometimes you bleed for them. Money was tight, responsibilities were heavy, but Jamal's home overflowed with things cash can't buy: love, laughter, and faith. His mother often reminded him, "Baby, talent will open doors, but character will keep you inside. Remain humble, stay grateful, and let God's favor do the rest." That phrase, God's favor, became Jamal's quiet mantra, a compass guiding every risky step he took toward the unknown. What does God's favor really mean? People toss the words blessed and highly favored around social media captions, but Jamal understood the deeper truth. God's favor isn't a golden ticket that exempts you from hardship. It's not a cosmic bribe or a get rich quick code. God's favor is the mysterious, empowering presence that adds purpose to the grind, direction to the detours, and possibility to the impossible. It turns rejections into redirections and losses into lessons. For Jamal, living favored meant singing grateful hymns even when opportunity seemed silent. It meant rehearsing after a double shift, memorizing whole songbooks when other kids played video games, and comforting friends even when his own heart felt heavy. Humility and God's favor, walking hand in hand, became Jamal's brand of quiet, immovable faith. The audition that changed everything. Season 2025 of American Idol had already seen its share of viral auditions, but the producers saved Jamal's slot for the final day, almost as if destiny insisted on a dramatic entrance. He stepped onto the taped X on the stage floor, wearing a thrift store blazer, polished shoes borrowed from an uncle, and a calm resolve forged in prayer. As the orchestral track began, Jamal unfolded Sam Cooke's "A Change Is Gonna Come." His opening notes were soft, gentle enough to make even the cameraman hold his breath. Then the song bloomed. Each run, each subtle rasp, each cavernous low note wrapped around the judges like silk. By the time he reached the crescendo, it's been a long time coming. Tear-stained cheeks glistened behind the panel's desk. The judges gave him a standing ovation before the last chord faded. Viewers at home felt it too. They didn't just witness a great singer. They encountered an artist whose spirit was bigger than the stage itself. Going viral, the internet reacts. Within hours, TikTok clips of Jamal's audition exploded. Reaction channels churned out content. Vocal coaches paused every breathing technique in slow motion, calling his phrasing textbook perfection. Gospel singers praised his soulful authenticity. Pop fan pages predicted he would walk the whole season. But what captured people most was Jamal's grin when the judges said, "You're going to Hollywood." He didn't fist pump or strut. He simply clasped his hands, whispered, "Thank you, Lord," and hugged everyone in sight. That small act of humility told the world, this young man knows exactly where his gift comes from, and he's not taking credit away from the giver. Surviving Hollywood Week. Hollywood Week is Idol's crucible. Lack of sleep, brutal vocal drills, last-second choreography changes, and high-pressure group numbers. Many contestants crack. Jamal didn't. Not because he was immune to nerves, but because he wielded a secret weapon: perspective. Every morning at 5 a.m., before the vocal coaches assembled, Jamal snuck outside with a lukewarm coffee. He FaceTimed his mama, let her voice fill his earbuds, and prayed. He reminded himself, this day is bigger than me. If I win, I'll praise. If I lose, I'll praise. Either way, I'm blessed. That mindset freed him from fear, allowing him to soar during rehearsals while comforting panicked teammates. Defining performances that bent the game. 1. All of Me by John Legend. Under dim blue lights, Jamal reinvented the modern classic by dropping the key, adding gospel tinged ad libs, and turning a piano ballad into a soul revival. Judges whispered, Grammys. Viewers typed, Chills. Jealous by Labyrinth. Stripped down to guitar and a single spotlight, Jamal's falsetto danced atop pain. It felt less like a cover, more like a confession. Social media psychologists wrote essays on why this rendition resonated with the heartbreak generation. 3. Original single, Heal. Finale night, a symphony orchestra behind him. Choir robes surrounding, lyrics weaving hope into every measure. He didn't just perform Heal, he led a national altar call. Phones lit up, hands rose high, judges stopped judging and started believing. The numbers and the records shattered. Behind the scenes, producers watched analytics surge. Highest single episode voting spike in Idol history. Top trending YouTube video for 72 straight hours. Jamal Roberts appeared on 1.7 million Twitter feeds per minute during the finale Mahler. All of this from a man who, weeks earlier, struggled to afford plane fare to his first audition. Money, taxes, and true value. When Ryan Seacrest handed Jamal the $250,000 check, the internet buzzed. Don't forget taxes. They were right. Federal withholding alone slices roughly 24 to 30%. If his home state has income tax, that's another bite. Add a new agent's commission, maybe a lawyer's retainer, and that $250,000 shrinks like cotton in a hot dryer. But Jamal's not worried. Why? Because he sees money as seed, not status. Seeds yield harvest. He's already talking with financial advisors about launching a scholarship fund for underserved music students, investing in a small gospel record label that nurtures indie talent, buying his mom the forever home she used to sketch on church bulletins. God's favor makes you a river, not a reservoir. Jamal intends to let blessings flow through him, not stagnate in his bank app. Brand offers and strategic yes-no. Since the finale, Jamal's manager's inbox reads like a Fortune 500 directory. Sneakers, headphones, soda brands, luxury cars. But Jamal's no sellout. He declines anything that doesn't align with his values, choosing instead projects that elevate mental health, music education, and community uplift. That is humble stewardship in action, leveraging fame without trading integrity. Understanding humility with God's favor. Let's pause. Humility isn't self-deprecation. It's accurate self-assessment, knowing your limits and acknowledging your source. And God's favor? It's the divine push that puts wind in your sails when you row faithfully. Scripture says, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. Jamal lived this verse. The exaltation came after the humility, after the grind, after the unseen prayers. God's favor means 1. Doors open you couldn't knock down alone. 2. People see you and instinctively want to help. 3. Mistakes don't derail you, they redirect you. 4. Success doesn't inflate you, it informs you. 5. Blessings flow through you, not just to you. Facing the media storm. Every morning show craved Jamal's first post-win interview. Journalists asked about record deals, tour dates, Hollywood circles. Jamal used each platform to spotlight faith. I'm honored, he'd say, but more than anything, I'm thankful to God for trusting me with this opportunity. Critics called it cliché. Supporters called it courage. The ratings called it compelling. The power of representation. For countless young artists, especially singers of color, Jamal is proof that authenticity sells. He didn't conform to a pop mold. He brought soul riffs, church runs, and Sunday morning sincerity into mainstream primetime, and America said yes. That means something. It tells marginalized kids, your sound, your story, your roots are valuable. Don't water them down. Raise them up. The next chapter, strategy over hype. Music insiders whisper that Jamal's debut album will blend gospel choir swells, neo-soul grooves, and orchestral cinematic flourishes. He's co-writing with Grammy-winning songsmiths, but insists every lyric must serve hope. Tour planners scout intimate theaters over massive stadiums. He wants closeness, not distance. Netflix is courting him for a docuseries titled From Pew to Primetime. When asked why he's not rushing a stadium tour, Jamal smiles. Even blessings need blueprints. Noah built the ark before the rain came. That's humility and wisdom in one sentence. Social impact, healing beyond music, True to the message of his finale single, Jamal has launched the Heal Initiative, a mental health awareness campaign providing free counseling vouchers for struggling performing arts students. Early sponsors include teletherapy companies and a national church network. The initiative's first Instagram post garnered 500,000 likes in under 48 hours. Proof that purpose can be as viral as performance if the heart behind it beats pure. Family first, the root of everything. In Jamal's green room sits a framed photo. His late grandfather, choir robe draped over one arm, Bible in the other, eyes lifted heavenward. Jamal credits his grandpa Joe for teaching him that every note is a prayer, every stage a pulpit. When producers demanded dramatic on camera family segments, Jamal declined anything that felt exploitative. Honor, not exposure, he told them. That conviction cost him extra screen time, but earned him priceless respect. Critics, comparisons, and staying centered. With fame comes friction. Some pundits question whether Jamal can chart pop hits in a streaming era obsessed with viral hooks. Some fans pit him against past idol champs. Jamal hears it all, yet chooses stillness over stress. His pastor recently shared, "Elevation brings noise. Stay tuned to God's whisper." Jamal posted that quote on his story, captioning it, "Facts." The legacy mindset. 20 years from today, no one will remember the number of confetti pieces or the network's ratings share. They'll remember the kid who closed his eyes, clutched the mic, and delivered truth through melody. They'll remember the humility that dripped from each bow, the gratitude that shone brighter than the stage lights, the generosity that funneled winnings into community uplift. That's the blueprint Jamal is etching right now. A legacy of substance over spectacle, faith over flash, service over celebrity. Call to action. Join the movement. So, to every viewer who watched the finale with pounding heartbeats, to every voter who felt their click mattered, to anyone who's ever doubted their own voice, this is your cue. 1. Like this video to boost the signal. 2. Subscribe to the Dynamic View for exclusive updates on Jamal's journey, studio sessions, behind the scenes tour footage, and philanthropic milestones. 3. Comment your favorite Jamal performance and the lesson it taught you. When you engage, you're not just boosting algorithms, you're expanding a circle of hope. Final word, the blessing and the burden. Jamal Roberts has stepped into a destiny bigger than music charts and award shows. He's stepping into lives, into communities, into hearts that need healing, encouragement, and proof that dreams are still valid in 2025. Yes, he wears the crown, but he also carries a cross, the responsibility to honor God's favor, to remain humble, to sing truth in a noisy world. And as he raises his hands, not in arrogance, but in gratitude, we see ourselves reflected in those upturned palms. Every rejected artist, every unseen talent, every soul bruised by life, yet still hungry for purpose. Jamal's story is evidence that God's favor, combined with tireless work and radical humility, can launch an ordinary voice into extraordinary impact. Let the confetti settle. Let the cameras cut. But let the echo of Jamal's journey ring out for decades. Because what happened on that idol stage was more than entertainment. It was a divine reminder. Dreams still awaken, miracles still manifest, and humble hearts aligned with God's favor can still move the world.